just talking about men.
I understand.
We're not talking about your daughter, your mom, your sister. We got that part. This conversation started and should end with men telling you about men and the erasure of men.
Yes.
You don't need to speak to somebody with a daughter to see how a man feels. Speak to a fucking man.
Okay, let her get shit off.
No,
please.
No, he just shut up.
In the past 20 years, we've been living through the death of the American male. They have literally killed masculinity in our homes and our communities, for one reason or another. But I raised my boys to be young men. And however you feel about that, you feel about that. Right. But my boys will always be respectful. They will always say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. No, sir, no, ma'am. They will always say thank you. They will always open the door for a lady. They will always make sure that their mother is taken care and provided for. They will always be men. And that's always since they were 2 years old. Every time I left for a job, I tell my 15-year-old, you're the man of the house. You make sure these doors are locked every night, this alarm is on, you text me or you call me every night before you go to bed and you wake up.
I love that.
Because we're men. If I'm not there to protect, he got to be there to protect. Because you can have all the money in the world, climb through the window, that money means nothing. Right. You can have all the celebrity in the world, jump through the door, that celebrity means nothing. Yeah. So you got to have a...
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of City Boys Raw. Look, I got a great episode for y'all today, but I need y'all to like, comment, subscribe. Let's go, baby.
Making a point that connects full circle. The depiction of what a man looks like, many people, and I said this in that Dochi conversation, feel that there's an erasure happening with that. So when you hear somebody say, hey, I'm raising mine like this, like men, like some people still take pride in whatever that interpretation of man is. But to act like when you pick up a newspaper, a magazine, hear from prominent black people, fucking see on TV, see in movies that version of man is not being represented properly, like there's a reason for it, and that Dochi comment is part of it. She has nothing to do with this, so I don't want to get back to her, but that's why y'all that were like, oh, y'all making a big deal out of nothing. Some people were making a big deal out of it because they see a different picture happening over the years.
They tying it to the other shit.
Our children, I mean, we have children that we're raising, and what they're learning is not, what they're learning is on the contrary of what's happening in the home.
They'll show you a man sucking another man's dick today before they show you a man acting like a man.
Exactly.
What is acting like a man mean?
They push to get rid of the straight man. They want to dilute you so bad that you become like almost like a wussy boy, you know, a little sissy boy. And that's not cool at all. It's not cool. And they know it's not cool. But men have been painted in such a bad light for so many years that when a lot of women think of men, they think of like automatically toxic. It doesn't matter what kind of man it's automatically toxic. It's crazy. Let's go.
Acting like a man, being responsible.
I keep saying that's open for your own interpretation.
It is, and so
many people agree with some of the things that he laid out,
including me.
Which is, hey, yes, I'm 15 years old. Yes, there's older people, older women, adults in the house, but none of that matters to a man. A man is gonna be a man at all points in time.
Preach, nigga.
So yeah, that's me telling my son, hey, when you get a job at 16, this is what you do when you get paid. You take that money home. Yeah, you live with your mom, and you be the man of the house. If there's no man in there, if she's not married, if there's nobody else there, that's your job. Yes. Make sure these bills are paid. Help mom in any way you possibly can, because that's what a man does. And so for you niggas to act like there's not an erasure happening, I don't understand it.
Let Mel go, and I'm gonna say.
I don't feel like the Doshi conversation applies here because what she was describing, she was describing her preference. And if you're saying that she's describing a type of man that lacks masculinity, then that would lend to the argument.
There's an attack on straight men.
Hold on,
I'm not trying to interpret it from her. There's an attack on strong, straight men. Period. I'm not trying to fucking read through cryptic notes about how you feel about some shit.
That is a fact. You are 100% correct. I told you back when we was over at Park's crib, I said, yo, you ever want to test that theory, go search straight black man on Twitter and put it in quotes. And you went and looked and was like, oh, this is pissing me off. Like that's just been a thing.
I know, but anytime, that's a thing.
But that's what I'm saying.
Anytime we start hearing from somebody who might share in those views, every excuse is made for him.
Every
Yeah,
excuse.
that's the truth.
Every excuse is made for him.
That's the absolute truth, man, for real. They'll say like, oh, maybe she went through some trauma, maybe she dealt with this, maybe she dealt with that. Yeah, but if it's a man saying the same thing that straight women are a red flag, which is what Doshi said, they wouldn't even think twice about calling them a misogynist, man, straight up. They do the same thing when they see these women abusing these men. They always ask, oh, what did he do? Well, when a woman gets abused, we never ask, what did she do? We just say, oh, okay, she got abused and that's wrong. We don't never try to figure out why she abused him. We don't never try to figure out, with a guy, we don't ever try to figure out why he abused her. We don't try to figure that out. All that matters is that you put your hands on her. She could have done anything. But all that matters is you put your hands on her, man. But with a woman, oh, he must have done something. They don't just act like that. He had to have done something. He had to have abused her first. It's always some kind of something. It really is. They always need context when it comes to a woman, man. Pay attention to that, man. Let's go.
They start bringing up different shit that has nothing to do with the topic.
Hey, how about we just
for over the year? Like,
how about we just eliminate the excuses and say there are some people that share in the ideology that these niggas are red flags and they're dangerous and we rather be around a bear. That's the point of the fucking bear conversation again.
It's really not. It's really not.
A man is
hold
telling
on.
you something.
Let me ask you two something. Let me ask you two something having daughters. What are the things that you
Even that's the point.
Oh my God.
Why you can't hear from a man that don't have a daughter?
Let her cook, Joe.
Can I fucking talk?
Yes, I'm sorry.
And because having a daughter changes your perspective on a lot of things.
Thank you fucking
I want
very
to tell
much.
you that.
Hey,
Okay.
But not mine.
Oh my
Ice, but wait, that is the point.
Joe.
Niggas don't need a daughter to qualify. We speaking as men.
Joe, I hear you. I'm telling you, as a man with a daughter,
We
you
got
can't-
that part.
but you
We're
can't.
talking about
Hold up.
just
I
men.
know you yelling, but
No, we just talking about men.
I understand
We're not
that.
talking about your daughter, your mom, your sister. We got that part. This conversation started and should end with men telling you about men and the erasure of men.
Facts.
You don't need to
Can
speak
somebody-
to somebody with a daughter to see how a man feels. Speak to a fucking man.
Okay, let her get shit off.
No,
Please.
no, he
No,
just he
please
just
continue.
shut.
No,
he-
please
he-
continue.
He completely shut down
No, you
everything
can't.
that I
No,
put.
ma'am.
No, because I can't respond to the Doshi thing. I can't respond to the
You
bear
can
thing.
respond.
I can't because
Well, you
it
shouldn't
all
have to. We're not
because
talking
it all
about
factors in. It does. My fucking argument when you keep bringing up this bear shit, it's fucking pissing me off because you are being willfully fucking obtuse.
Well, tell
All
me
right,
how.
stay fucking there. You two, you have daughters. What is it that you are teaching your daughters in terms of when they go out into the world, how to conduct themselves? Only in terms of their sense of personal safety. Who do they need to keep themselves safe from? Who? And don't just answer the question.
People.
Yeah, I was gonna say the world.
Okay.
The world.
The world.
Can you be a
Society.
little bit more specific?
People, like he said, it's
Okay,
not.
so
It's
what-
not. It's. I get where you're trying to go with that.
You know what you
I'm
want
not
to
sitting.
say.
I mean, I'm not at that point yet. But it's not. Hey, look out for men. Look out for boys. No,
I can
it's
answer
look
that.
out for people.
Hold on.
Okay.
People are
And I'm
fucked
just-
up.
and-
And I get what she's trying to do. She's trying to get him to say he needs to tell your daughters to look out for men. He's right. She's right. She's that's what she's gonna say. But I don't think that she realizes that we're living in 2025. A lot of women out here are predators too, man. No, don't get it twisted, man. Yes, look out for people. Look out for those guys who are trying to take advantage of you. Look out for those women who are trying to take advantage of you. Is there gonna be slightly more males that try to do that shit? Probably. But there's gonna be a lot of women that's gonna come at you too. Women are now scammers and all that shit now. Don't. Women ain't angels, man, for real. But I also find it very rich coming from a person like Mylissa Ford, though, who has basically made a career of being with a bunch of different dudes, man, all throughout the industry. Like I just find it rich coming from her. But let's continue.
And I'm just asking you two specifically.
Wait, hold on. I have a 15-year-old
Yeah,
daughter.
he can answer better than
I
I
have a
can.
15-year-old daughter. I tell her to be on the lookout for people, jealous girls, but I also tell her to
Fair.
be on the lookout for older men that's trying to prey on younger girls,
Okay.
offering rides and stuff like that. Is
Okay.
that what you're getting at? I tell her
Yes.
that, but that's what you learn in growing up, and that's that some men do that.
No, and that is fair. And
Okay.
that is fucking accurate. I can tell you stories of when I was 11 and 12. No, fuck that. 8. We had a handyman that used to come to the house. And one day my father was just like, my parents worked. And my dad was literally like, he's coming to the house, just give him the money for the work that he did, blah, blah, blah. He came to the house. I was there alone. He was drunk and he tried to do some shit to me. It was fucking terrifying because I'm in my own fucking house and this is somebody that my parents fucking trusted. And he came there drunk and it was really fucking bad. That is just one experience. There's so many more that I can talk about that happened before the age of fucking 16 years old. The reality is that you can be in the safest environment and still there will be a situation that unfolds that where you need to teach your daughters to be careful of predatory boys and men. And I'm not talking about people.
I know.
Because
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question?
Just wait 1 second. Anything can fucking happen.
That story about the handyman, was your dad there for that?
No, he wasn't. He was at work. It was during the day. It was like fucking noon or something like that.
I don't mean to laugh. I'm not laughing at that, guys. Don't. I'm not laughing at the situation. I'm laughing at Joe Budden because I know what he wants to say. I know what he wants to say, man. And I'm not at all going to try to negate anybody's experience or anything that they went through. But your dad leaving you at the house at 8 years old by yourself sounds like, first of all, it doesn't even sound like that actually happened. But it sounds like he was being irresponsible. Your parents were being irresponsible on that part because you would never leave an 8-year-old in the house by themselves. You don't do that. Like I said, though, I'm not trying to negate anybody's experience. I'm not trying to be insensitive in any type of way. Don't give me a strike against this YouTube channel. I like doing my videos, man. But I would be very remiss if I were to say that women don't make up lies and shit just to push a narrative. A lot of women do that. They'll make up a lie to push a narrative about some shit that didn't even really happen. I'm not saying that what she's saying didn't happen, but I'm just saying, man, that's all.
Mel,
Okay, now, so hold on.
There
No,
are systematic efforts that are out there to discredit and silence the black man.
I'm not talking.
But you have to acknowledge that too,
I'm
Mel.
not.
Mel, wait.
Acknowledge
Listen,
that.
you you should acknowledge the fact that there is a movement to discredit the black man, to discredit men.
The straight black man.
The straight,
Not just black man, the straight black man.
Online, they're showing that women have all this power and women are in control of the home and the black men are not here to take care of their
Legislation says
children.
different.
Legislation where?
Legislation that's being passed, Roe v. Wade being overturned,
What?
the anti-abortion laws. There is literally.
We're talking about social media.
That legislation that's being passed has nothing to do with the topic at all whatsoever. He's talking about straight black men. How you went off into a whole nother subject is really beyond me, man. It's crazy. And I really wish that a lot of women would really try to educate themselves when it comes to these abortion laws and realize that they're not taking your right to an abortion away. It may be when you, in the area that you're living in, but you can still go get an abortion anywhere, like not anywhere in this country, but you can still go get an abortion in this country. You still can, man. You still can. Y'all gotta stop with this shit, man. And stop bringing up the extreme cases of like grape and all that shit, man. Like that's come on, man.
Literally.
We're talking about social media that's being fed to our children.
Okay.
And now if you go on here, there's always something to discredit the black man.
Mm-hmm.
You know that and I know that. So that's what the point we're getting at is that there's something that's going on. Not taking away that there's not, we know that there's predators out there. We know that there's men out here that take advantage. But there's also a lot of great men out there that take care of their family, that provide for their children, that protect the home. And that's not being highlighted anymore.
In no way, shape, or form am I fucking denying that at all. I'll highlight it as much as possible.
You don't when you say I'd rather be around a bear.
Oh my God. Literally.
You don't, though, when you say that.
Stop. Because the fucking bear is literally just a fucking extreme metaphor for the high incidence rate of fucking sexual assault against women and girls. That's it. It is a fucking metaphor. Get over it, okay?
Mel.
That has nothing to do with the erasure of the concept of the straight fucking man. It has nothing to do with it. It has to do with sexual assault.
Mylissa
That is
Ford.
it. That is it. That is all. That is it. That is all.
That's not all, because women that believe in the bear, whatever the fuck that is, they all think it covers all men, not just the rapist. I'm sorry, rapist. It covers all men. That's what they think. That's how they think, man. You can sit up there and say it's just this, it's just that for the high rate of but let's be real here. There's a low percentage of men doing a lot of that shit, man. Most men ain't out here doing that. Yet y'all apply it to all men. That's why men take offense to it. That's why, because most of us ain't gonna fucking grape you in the woods. Most of us ain't gonna grape you at all or assault you. We're just not going to. But y'all, because of what's going on in y'all head, think it's such a high rate. And then let's be real here too. The rate wouldn't be as high if there weren't as many false reports. There's a lot of false reports in there, There's a lot of shit that's called sexual assault that's not actual sexual assault. There's a lot of bullshit and lies, man. Let's be real here, man.
Hold up, please let me get this 1v1 with her, please. And we don't have to yell and get hostile here.
Okay,
we don't have to
you're
do that.
right, but I'm very frustrated by the way that conversation has been handled over the course of months over here, especially for somebody who has literally experienced it. Literally experienced it more times than I care to count.
Yeah, but you still fuck.
I'm going to say this in closing because I feel like we have rehashed the bear conversation a bunch.
That's true.
But if the bear conversation is being had through the lens of only sexual assault victims and victims of sexual violence, then you have now answered a question while erasing the rest of the field of men, good men, cornerstone men, legacy building great men. You are erasing that and answering the question through the lens of trauma and pain and horrible experiences with men. So when you hear Anthony Mackie describe what it is to be a man, where is the confusion at? We're not talking about men that do that. We're talking about men, and men should be acknowledged.
Because the two things have nothing to fucking do with each other. Listen, all right, look, so just wait.
Okay.
Just wait.
I'm done.
The idea...
Because she's not going to get it no matter what you say.
But
you don't get it.
But
you don't get it. You don't get it.
You feel like you're part of the problem because you also highlighted that pressure could be too much for the 15-year-old son. That's the first thing you went to.
We are going all over the fucking place. No, I'm just saying that. Listen, whoa. Just one second.
But you made an excuse for him.
Wait 1 second. Wait 1 second. He brought up the bear. He brought it up. Okay, this wasn't even part of the fucking conversation right now. That was just throwing a fucking monkey wrench into the conversation about male masculinity. We're not, that has nothing to do with the fucking bear.
Got it.
That was not
It has everything to do with the erasure of men and what it is to be a man.
Look.
And that's a man telling you.
No, just wait 1 second.
But even that, a man can't tell you nothing.
Yeah, man. Go ahead.
There was this case that just unfolded in fucking France, and her name, and the woman's at the helm of this case, her name is Giselle Pellicot. Mm-hmm. She was 70 years old, and her husband spent the better part of a decade drugging her and advertising to men to come over and sexually assault her, and she did not know it. And do you know who these men were? There was like 50 of them, 51 of them got, some form of, punishment, legal punishment. These men were doctors, plumbers, lawyers, they were family men, they were grandfathers, they were all the things. The whole point is that there is no face of a predator. There's no face. There is no look. There's no nothing. You can't tell. So when women are talking about sexual assault, it has nothing to do with, be afraid of, men because they're just scary. It's just there's no fucking picture as to what a predator looks like. The predator can look like your next door fucking neighbor. The predator can look like your fucking father. The predator can be your uncle, can be your brother, can be anybody. That's the whole point.
Which is more reason for Anthony Mackie to describe what raising a man looks like.
Yeah, so that he does not become a predator.
Can I say something to you, Joe?
That's a fact.
Here's my thing.
Agreed.
Here's my thing.
Because that's really
we are so used to looking down upon black men. Not saying you're doing it, but people is, because the first thing you said, and I said this when he said about what he's teaching his 15-year-old son, is that you made an excuse by saying that
it's not an excuse.
Do you think
I asked a question?
You asked a question? Sorry, Mel. Saying that, do you think it may be too much pressure on this child?
Do you want to know why?
We don't think that.
Do you want to know why I asked that?
We teach our boys.
Do you know why?
I want to know why you asked
this is why I asked it.
Yes, ma'am.
Simple reason why. Because as black people, black women, black men,
yes,
we are forced to grow up a lot faster than we should. Okay? We are looked at as more mature than our years actually, dictate. And that is unfair. That's unfair to both black female children and black male children. They should be able and they should be allowed to have a childhood, full childhood. That was the only reason why I asked. Had nothing to do with him making a poor decision.
I do get that, because on the flip side, the flip side of that be the girl that is maybe 13, 14, and you got to take care of your siblings now.
Yeah.
You're being forced to be,
because society, that's some of the positions that society afford to people.
And I understand that, but Anthony Mackie is very, very rich. He has a lot of money. He has a lot of access to things. I'm just talking about him specifically.
Okay,
I'm not talking about, say the single mom who's got several children and she's got to work 2 jobs, and yes, then she relies on her children, and I understand that. I'm not talking.
Is that an exception? Do you give that an exception?
And I will give him that he could be considered an exception to the rule. That was the only reason why I asked that question.
Okay.
And it had nothing. And it had nothing to do with the concept of masculinity being bastardized or forced upon him too early. No, it's just like he's still kind of a kid, and he should be able to be a kid. That's the only reason why I asked it.
Do you know what it's like?
I get what she's saying. He deserves to be a kid and not have to worry about all the BS that's going to come ahead of him. But this is 2025, man. There's predators, there's scammers, there's fraud artists, there's all kinds of stuff out here. And if you don't hold your frame as a man, you could become a victim to a lot of the bullshit that's out here. And that's absolutely true. Anthony Mackie was not incorrect in anything he said, man. But I want to know what y'all think about this. Let me know in the comments, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's go, baby.